Peace Collective, welcome back to the realm of alignment where we unlock the body's hidden codes. Thank you all so much for being here today because this is a very, very, very special episode and we are shifting into something new. So I'm super excited because this week, moving forward, we are relaunching the Chakra Land program on YouTube. Now, the Chakra Land program, for those of you who may know, if you're from my Instagram, is a 8-week program, very intensive, very intentional, but very gentle in a way at the same time, because it helps take you through these shadow aspects of your own energy. Now, while some of you may actually be ahead of the collective in some ways, this program can always be useful for anybody on any level to bring you back to the beginning of why you're here in the first place, why you're doing what you're doing in the first place. Now, who this may be beneficial to are people who may still be needing to discover their purpose. You could be a teacher who needs to do some resetting and refocusing on energy, your own energy. You might have some major decisions to make and need some regrounding, where you can come back to yourself. Chakra healing is good for anybody on any level. So this is going to start off, as intentionally sensitive as possible, but it's going to become more intense. But the intention never changes. And the intention at the end of the day is to always bring you back to yourself and remind you of your power so that eventually you don't feel like you need to go anywhere else to get answers, not even to me. Okay, so I'm just the vessel putting the information out so that you can take this information when you're really ready to shift into a very abundant, prosperous, sovereign timeline. That's what I'm here for. My job is done if you're able to do so. Okay, and keep in mind, I'm not here to act like I know it all. I don't have all the answers. I'm here with you doing the work and still growing, still, integrating with the work myself. And this is always super useful for me to come back to as a reminder so that I can sharpen up my energy. Because spiritual streets out here ain't no joke. Okay, so this week for Root Chakra Week, we are focusing on the art of uprooting energy. Okay, so this week each of us are showing up as our highest self through grounding. Show up and get centered in your ability to claim your power. Okay, so we're going to start revisiting some old energies. Now, accountability is a topic, quite the topic, because I find that it's a buzzword that is used very often in the world right now, not just in a specific community, but people like to throw around the word accountable and accountability. Sometimes you will hear of the word accountability in a positive light, and most times it's used in a negative aspect. When it's in a positive light, it's more so you'll hear people saying, I need an accountability partner. Like, for example, if you're going to the gym or someone's in the gym, or if they got goals, they'll say, I need an accountability partner. Hold me accountable. Now, that's the easier perspective of accountability. The less easy perspective of accountability is when it's your turn to take accountability in a situation that's not very favorable for you. Now, here we go. This is the part where many of us shy away from because it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good to have to sit with yourself and sort of just check yourself for something that you are involved in, a situation you might have created, a feeling that you might be feeling, a person you might have attracted, an outcome in your life, whatever the case may be. Accountability is always necessary because no matter what it is, that you are going through in your life, to a degree, or I can say in general, you have created the outcome or for that energy to come into your reality. Not just create the outcome, but you have created space for the energy to enter your reality. So if you're in a space where you're dealing with a specific type of situation, a person, an energy, and you're wondering, like, how did I attract this person or this outcome towards me? The hardest thing to do is taking accountability, because in most situations we're looking at it on a surface level, like, I don't act like that. I don't treat anybody the way this person treated me. I don't talk to people the way this person talked to me. I didn't, you know, ever go out into the world and spread this type of energy. So how could I be the reason why this is coming towards me? Now, this is the part where most people observe and stop. They don't go any deeper to actually integrate with the work of the introspection. Now, how you can go deeper is by thinking to yourself, like, for example, if you attract somebody towards you who, is taking advantage of your time and taking advantage of your kindness and whatever the case may be, and you're thinking to yourself, but I'm nice to everyone. I respect everyone. I show up for everyone. Taking accountability looks like, well, I have been too kind and I don't have the boundaries necessary to stop someone from treating me the way that I don't allow myself to be treated, the way that I know I don't deserve to be treated. If you take it even deeper, sometimes it may not look like that. Usually it's not external at all. It's more so internal. It's more so, have you ever abandoned yourself? How are you abandoning yourself? What area of your life are you abandoning yourself? Because if you've abandoned yourself in any type of way, you will attract energies and situations and people towards you who will also abandon you. So it hides. The energy can hide in your subconscious mind. That's why it's called your shadow. Okay? And your shadow self can be in the background doing a hell of a job, just bringing in all these different experiences towards you. But the one thing you have to remember is that nothing is happening to you, it's all happening for you. So I want to leave you with some shadow work questions. Okay, I won't drag these videos out. I'll keep it nice and simple because your homework is going to be the most important part of these courses, these classes, these videos, whatever you want to call them. Okay. So, question number one is, what are you not holding yourself accountable for? Okay. Be honest with yourself, sit with yourself, and really try your best to answer this question without your ego being present. If you're somebody, okay, who can say, well, I'm holding myself accountable for everything, you're lying. You're lying. Because we all have something that we can discover, especially if you're coming to this video. Okay. If you found this video, that means you still got some work to do, specifically in these areas. You still have to figure out, how can you hold yourself accountable on another level? Even if you've held yourself accountable in so many other ways, the work is never done. Once you're alive, there's always work to do. Once you're alive, there's always evolving to do. You never stop evolving. You never stop growing. There's always going to be lessons to learn and karmic cycles to break until you ascend from this realm. Okay, so once you're here, once you're alive, once you're having a human experience, there's work to do, period. Okay, so what are you not holding yourself accountable for? Sit with this and take your time to answer the questions. Okay, don't rush it and be gentle with yourself. What are the aspects of yourself? This is question two. What are the aspects of yourself that are mirrored back to you through your interactions with other people? The aspects of yourself, as we know, are always going to be mirrored back to us because we are each other's reflection. So if you attract someone towards you, that is a version of you. externally. I'm sorry, sometimes the worst person that you've ever experienced in your life, in your orbit, in your reality, in your timeline, it'd be hard for us to accept that, this person is a reflection of us. But the truth is, subconsciously, we're always creating our reality. And in our subconscious mind, the shadow aspect of ourselves it's hidden. So it's easy to miss why we would attract somebody specifically towards us, or a situation specifically towards us, or an outcome specifically towards us. There's a reason, there's a purpose behind everything. Okay? So once you understand that purpose, you start to pull the energy from the shadows, from the dark to the forefront, and then you can start to analyze and see exactly what it is that you have to work through. Because for every person you've ever had in your life, you've attracted that. Absolutely you have. And I get that this may be so hard to accept because some situations have been so traumatizing, so traumatic. But if you come out of your ego and you actually give yourself a chance to remember your power and remember, yes, you are so powerful that you attract everything towards you, then you can start to fully control what happens in your life, in your future moving forward. You can't always control, who exactly comes towards you, but you can start to pick up on, pattern recognition and seeing how somebody is treating you, seeing how, a situation is playing out in your life before it really starts to affect you, and then get rid of it. It's not about living in fear either, but it's about understanding yourself enough so that when these energies come towards you, you're seeing how you're truly operating in a subconscious manner so that you can make the right choices. I hope that makes sense. Okay. Now, here's another question that's going to really help you understand yourself. What triggers you into defense mode? Now, what's interesting about this question is a lot of you may actually be triggered right now. You might be in defensive energy right now as we speak because you're not trying to hear what I have to say about, depending on what you've been through in your life. Some of you may have experienced some very heavy situations in the past, and you might be thinking, like, how the hell did I attract that? I've been so kind to people, I've helped people. The reason why you're triggered is because there's truth to it. That's why you're triggered. There's truth to the triggering. Don't forget that. There's truth to the triggering. So if you can blow off some steam and come back and just like force yourself to sit with this energy and think, what just triggered you to go into defense mode? Then you can start to dissect the energy. Write it down, just journal it. Get your books out, okay? For all these questions, journal it, write everything down. Now, the last question is, what are your grounding abilities? 3 to 5 methods. These are your tools. If you watched my tools video, you'll know that your tools are meditation, breath work, exercise, yoga, being in nature. Some of you might be crystals. Some of you might be candles. Some of you might be a spiritual bath. Others of you, it may be therapy, going for a massage. What are your tools? What are your grounding abilities? What keeps you grounded? For me personally, it's being in nature. When I go out and I sit with the trees or I sit by a body of water, my goodness, it does wonders for me. So write down 3 to 5 methods and keep that with you until our next class. Okay? So we're really going to work through this together. Please don't rush through this process. Take your time. Be gentle with yourself because we're all in this together. We are a collective consciousness. And whatever you see another person experiencing and dealing with, you in some way are a reflection of that. So we can always learn from each other. Okay. So I love you guys so much. Thank you for being here today. This was a great first class. And I do have in my description some cool links for you guys to check out because I did create a quantum ascension workbook, which I would urge you to get if you find yourself to be advanced in chakra healing and you're just here to brush up on some things, or to wait until you're done these chakra classes at the end of the 8 weeks, and then maybe you can jump into the quantum ascension workbook if you feel called to do so. Okay, I also have some links for my family's channels below. Please go ahead, follow, and support them. And thank you again to all of my new subscribers. I love you guys so, so, so much. And I will see you in the next video. Peace.